You know how we always talk about the little things that make a big difference? Today, I want to tell you about Olsen dental chairs. Imagine you're a dentist and you spend your whole day around the chair. Well, Olsen has over 40 years of experience in making those long hours as comfortable as possible for both the dentist and the patient. They're all about the ergonomic design and not to mention their focus on biosafety. I mean, these guys have even thought about the tiny microbes. Their chairs have this cool electrostatic painting that uses nanotechnology to kick bacteria to the curb. Now that's what I call attention to detail. But that's not all. Their equipment is versatile and flexible and can be custom made to your preference. Whether you're into general practice, orthodontics, or any other dental specialty, they got you covered. And now, you might be thinking that all these features would come with a hefty price tag, right? Well, here's the big surprise. Olsen dental chairs are incredibly affordable compared to the competitors. You'll hear the full cost of some of these chairs in this episode, and you'll see, compared to other brands, they don't offer the same level of features and design that Olsen does. So, if you're a dental professional looking for high-quality, cost-effective dental equipment, check out Olsen dental chairs. Their commitment to quality, comfort, and affordability is unparalleled, and they are dedicated to supporting your practice and patients. For more details, visit their website at olsenna.com. That's olsenna.com. And for a limited time, Olsen is giving you free installation with any purchase. Just mention this podcast. So go check them out. There's going to be a link in the show notes below. Click the first link in the show notes below or their logo. And remember, when you choose Olsen, you're not just buying a chair. You're investing in a partnership and a long-lasting relationship. All right, it's time to talk with our featured guest, Simon Cortes. Simon, how's it going?
You good? Pretty good, Michael. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Thanks for asking. If you can, tell us a little bit about your past, your present. How did you get to where you are today?
Definitely. Thanks for asking, Michael. So I'm an entrepreneur in the medical space. I have been in the medical space actually since I was 19. I'm 29 now, and we run a successful business for the last 10 years. We have enjoyed selling new and refurbished medical equipment to the medical providers, and we are now expanding to dental, and that's why we're here. And so we're super excited to talk about this new brand with you.
Nice, dude. Real quick, rewind. How'd you get into this at 19?
So I had the blessing that I've enjoyed selling. And since I was very young, I've always sold something in school, selling gum, selling anything you can think of. Mm-hmm. And so when I got into high school, a little bit older, I actually started selling cars. And I did really well there. And then I worked for a medical equipment company that did imaging. And from there, I started seeing an opportunity in procedure chairs. I bought a chair, I did well. Bought a second one, did well. Bought a third one, did pretty good. Then I dropped out of college and said, I'm going to jump in a truck, drive all over the country and sell medical equipment. So it's been awesome. It's been fun. It's been a great journey. And we've grown a lot. We've had a fantastic year and it's been fun. It's the cool thing, when you go to school, when you don't learn these things, there's a lot of learning curves. And so we've learned from the good, we've learned from the bad, and we've built from it. And so thankfully, we have a very successful business because of it.
Gotcha, man. And so when did Olsen come out to be?
So last year, Olsen came to look for me, and we met in my office. They saw what we did. They met me. They enjoyed the energy that I brought. They enjoyed the experience. They enjoyed my story. And so we started talking about dental. I always wanted to get into dental. I never did dental refurbish just because we didn't want to deal with all the hoses, the biosecurity, and deal with all that. And so Olsen they came in, they showed me an amazing product. Their quality was awesome. How simple their equipment was. And so because of that, I was like, this is interesting. Because I do refurbishing, I know chairs, motors, PC boards, like it's the back of my hand. I'm a huge nerd when it comes to these things. And so because of that, I've enjoyed seeing the Olsen products, how they're built, how they're made, and really seeing the quality of their equipment. And so because of that, I went to Brazil. I met the Olsen team. I met Mr. Olsen, and I just fell in love with the product. And because of that, I spend lots of my time pushing their product, advertising their product, and speaking to dentists. And I've enjoyed it.
Nice, man. That's good. So then Olsen came onto your team, or you started selling their equipment and everything like that about a year ago.
About a year ago, yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, man. Good stuff. So then what have you seen, I guess, compared to, because that's the thing a lot of practice owners kind of talk about, right? Is like, is it affordable? Yeah, check, right? Is it high quality, advanced technology? Is it ergonomic? all these things, right? Do patients care? And then we get those people who are like, man, just have a chair, right? Patients ain't gonna notice a difference or anything like that. So what are your thoughts on all this?
So being in the dental industry for a year now, it's crazy the price of these chairs. I'm a firm believer you shouldn't have to buy a dental chair that costs more than a car. I mean, I've seen some of these chairs that cost more than a Toyota Corolla 2022. I mean, that's insane. And so what I love about Olsen is that, it's a great chair. They use Bosch motors, which Bosch is a well-known manufacturer all over the world. They have a modern design and the pricing is super competitive. And so because of that, it's something I enjoyed. One of the main features I really do enjoy for dentists, I like to fix things. And I've met lots of dentists that like to fix things. I've met a lot of doctors that like to fix things. And when you can fix something, it's easy. The newer chairs, they're making everything high end, right? They're putting too much technology in it, making it difficult. And what I love about Olsen is simple technology. It works well. And one of Olsen's models is equipment made to last. And for me, that's extremely important because one of the reasons I've been in business, one of the reasons I've had a successful career in what I do is I've been fixing machines that's 30 years old and we're still fixing them and we're still selling them. If you look at the equipment now, I don't know if you can still have a refurbishing business in the next 10 years. There's just a lot of things that they're doing that makes it more difficult for a normal person to fix a chair. You need an engineer to be able to fix your chair. And that's what I don't like. That's what I don't like about where we're going to the future. But what I love about Olsen is they kept it simple. Their equipment has one PC board. Their unit is not super complicated to get to the upholstery. It's simple. Just the whole thing is simple. And so because of that, I've really enjoyed showing this product and displaying it too. I believe at this point, I think we're at over 150 chairs that we've installed. We actually just installed 4 chairs in Hawaii. My team just came back from that and the doctor was thrilled. So it's been great. It's been fun. I'm actually sitting in one of our chairs right now. I do a lot of my meetings here. Super cool because has a little massage system in it. So I sit back here, just get a little massage and I love it. And so imagine if I'm enjoying that while I'm in a conference call, imagine patients enjoy that as well. So, but that's kind of what Olsen is. It's a really cool chair. It's something that I really recommend customers, potential customers to come in and see us at the shows, check the shows out. It's a chair you want to look at. And so that's one of the ways that we like to say that we're different, how we're different. Overall, something cool that you just want to look at and something cool. And like I said, I've enjoyed it a lot. I've had lots of customers enjoy it. And we're hoping this year we're going to explode. And so that's what we're going for.
Yeah. When you're at these shows, man, you have all your units there or like specific ones or?
So in our last shows, we have had all of our units there. This show, we've decided because this is the next one that's coming up. That's actually next week here in Florida. We're super excited about it because we're doing a smaller show this time just because obviously it's our home base in Florida. We have a showroom in Florida. So we just want people to come look at the chairs and invite them to our showroom so they can see the 7, 8 different models that we have in the showroom. And so we chose a smaller group this time. But yeah, and the other shows that we've done, and so we'll be in Chicago, we'll be in New York, we're going to be in Ohio, we're going to be in Texas, and we will have large booths there to display our products so you can come and see them, play with them. I've had lots of customers love them. One cool thing that we actually have right now that we did in the last show that was a hit, I mean, everybody came and checked this out, was our transparent chair. You can see how the chair is made. And so what I was telling everybody at the event, I was like, listen, Olsen is new to you. We want to show you what our insides are made out of. The reason you don't see any other chair transparent is because they don't want you to see how complicated their chair is. I want you to see how simple our chair is. And so that right there, thanks to that, we sold over 14 chairs just in the show. And that was awesome. So we're hoping we're going to get the same feedback. We're going to take the transparent chair to Florida. They're going to check it out. They're going to look at it. And I hope they expect the same results simply because it's very awesome to just see it's a simple product. You're not overcomplicating it. And for me, that's important. I know for other people, that's important because, Mike, I don't know if you know, but calling a service technician to come service your chair, it's very expensive. And if you could save that money, imagine you'd want to.
Yeah. How is that, man? How is like the customer support and then like the, you know what I mean? Because I feel like things break no matter what, right? So then it's like, hey, how fast can I get that someone on the line, a human coming here and all that stuff? How does that look like?
So this is the cool thing. And this is one of the reasons Olsen's worked with us and the reason we decided to partner up together. Remember, we're in the medical industry as well. So we have technicians that we've partnered up with all over the country. Because the chairs are simple, I can send one of my medical techs to go out there, check the chair, and he can figure it out. He can get it done, put it together, and do it right. They have the experience. They're certified with the medical equipment. The dental equipment isn't too much. What is our goal? Our goal is for the chairs not to fail. That's why we give our customers a 5-year warranty. That's why the chairs are simple. When you overcomplicate your chairs, then yes, you should expect things to fail. Because when you have 3, 4 PC boards, 5 PC boards in one chair, yeah, the chances of one breaking is high. But when you only have one, chances of them breaking is not as high. And so because of that, we're not really worried too much about service calls. One of the reasons that have blown people away is if you open up a delivery system on a chair, right now your delivery system has one block that controls all your hand pieces. This has been the biggest selling point we've actually had with our Olsen chairs, is that ours aren't a block. They're actually individual. If one hand piece breaks, you can continue using your other hand pieces, which means you don't have to close the room that day, stop productivity because your block is clogged. And that's something that is blowing people away. And so it's a very neat feature. It doesn't exist in the market. And it's something that Olsen has that it's just blowing people away.
Gotcha, man. That is pretty awesome. So price wise for these chairs compared to like other companies, I mean, like I know we're thinking of like maybe like Dentsply, right? Like that's like really, really big, right? But when it comes to this right here, practice owners, when they get they're starting up, they're putting this in, right? They're thinking about the budget. How much would you say we'd have to budget for these chairs if we're like, hey, I want to have 3 ops, 4 ops?
So Michael, the cool thing about this is our pricing is awesome. Quality is awesome. We have 4-level chairs. We have a hygiene chair that starts off at $6,300. Then we have our infinity chair that starts off at $14,500. So there's a range there. The differences in between our chairs is size. It's going to be your delivery system. It's going to be your light. So there's cool features that you get to see at the show that you'll be able to say, hey, I want this light. I want this handpiece here. I want my 3-way syringe this way. And then we set it all for you. And so price wise, it's there. I've met some customers that I've spoken to who spent $34,000 for just one chair.
Mm-hmm.
We're using our chairs right now. If you go to our website, olsenna.com, you actually would be able to see what they've said about our chairs, and they've loved it. Okay, $14,000, $40,000, one chair, or you could buy 4 chairs for the price of one chair. And so because of that, that's just a great savings. And so I would say we're definitely in the affordable side, I would like to say, but you're not sacrificing quality. That's the important point. That's what everybody's asking is like, Simon, okay, your chairs are a great price. They look amazing, but are they really that good? And that's why we have 5-year warranty. If something breaks, we overnight it. We get a technician to install it. And we're done. Fortunately, because we're new in the market, we haven't had too many issues. We had one issue so far that a doctor by accident broke the light. He broke it himself and he admitted that he broke it. He asked us for the light. And I told him, I was like, you know what, doctor, you've been a great customer. Here, I'll overnight the light to you. And because it was so simple, he installed it himself. Well, and so instead of spending $500-$600 on a light and then paying a technician to install it, we just gave him the light. He installed it and he's loved the product. So I would like to say, because of that, overall, it's a really good chair. And the features it has, overall, it's something that will allow you to save money. And at the end of the day, it's crazy. When these potential customers that I'm working with, when they send me their budgets, when they send me what they're working with, it is insane. And so as a business owner myself, saving money is key, especially when you're starting out. And so when you have that opportunity to save money, but not sacrifice quality, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's really, really good. So talking about that in your own mind, right? And putting your shoes as a business owner into the shoes of a practice owner. In your opinion, what can a dentist do today or practice owner do today to improve their marketing or their business?
So because I've been studying dental offices a lot, I can tell you I've actually looked a lot into this, and then what I've seen, a lot of doctors, a lot of dentists, they don't invest in social media as much as they should. They don't invest in their office as much as they should, right? When I mean they invest in their office, I don't know if you've ever seen, Michael, but you can get a 360 of your whole office. It doesn't cost that much. And you can actually give someone that virtual tour of your office. We do that with a lot of our projects, and it comes out awesome. I mean, it just looks amazing, and it allows that patient who's looking on their phone to see, where should I go to the dentist at? And when you get to see that experience and see, wow, look how beautiful their equipment is, look how clean their office is, that's something that I would say that a lot of dentists don't take advantage of. I would say also Google My Business. There's a lot of spaces I see that no one has pictures of that logo, pictures of their staff. We want to be personal. We want to show who you are. Like if you go to our Google, you'll see we have over 2,000 pictures that we have of our chairs that we do, of our warehouse. We want to be personal. We want when someone calls us to speak to us, that they know who they're speaking to, that they know what's going on, and that they see our equipment. And for us, that's important. And so I would say in the dental space, I have noticed that they're just, when you go and you're Googling an address, you just see a logo, a couple of reviews. Hopefully they're good, but you don't really see that they've invested in their online presence. And I think that's important, especially right now when everybody just looks everything up on the phone. And so I would definitely say that. I would definitely say be proud of your office, be proud of who you are, be proud of that you're in business, and push that and share that. I think that's extremely important.
Yeah. And I like that. I like that a lot. Like be proud of it and then invest in it, right? Kind of thing. And that's, I guess, a way to show that you're proud of it by investing in it, like really putting in that skin in the game. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. Awesome. So now these next questions are just to get into the head of someone who isn't totally involved on the clinical side of dentistry. Right now, what would you like to see more from a dentist?
I personally love my dentist. He's amazing. And he does a really good job on making you feel so comfortable when you get into his office, on that atmosphere. So I would say, because I've had the same dentist for about 20 years, I would say that I would try to mirror that experience where when you get to an office, it looks clean, right? Feels clean, smells good. You'd be surprised how many offices I've been into where it doesn't smell good, where it doesn't look clean. And so I think that's something very important. And you think that's basic, but when you're so busy with running an office, dealing with patients, dealing with employees, you miss small things. And so I would definitely say that would be something that I would like to see more. Just because I've visited lots of offices, and I can tell you there's a good amount of them that just don't take care of the general things. Their work is amazing. It's just small little things that someone should be doing, they're not doing.
Gotcha. That's been kind of key. I've noticed that that's like a thread. To you, though, what doesn't smell good to you in an office where you're like, this smells like what?
I can tell you, I've had an experience. I've been in New York recently, and you could tell, I would like to say maybe when there's too many people in the waiting room, right? When you overbook, when you have too many people in there, everybody smells good. Because of that, I would definitely say that's something I experienced just recently, where you walked in and it was like, wow, maybe I should walk back out. So I would definitely say that that's one of the things that you would want to live it, right? When you can control your patients, when you can control how many people you book, you don't overbook the rooms, right? You don't overbook your procedure. You simply book it correctly. That way you don't have 15, 20 people in a waiting room. Like me personally, my dentist, that never happens. You go in, there's not more than 2 or 3 people. And he's a busy guy, but he doesn't overbook. You come in, he puts you back in the room and you keep going. And so that's something I've enjoyed. And also, it's one of the things I actually love. When you go there, like at least for me, I'm a very busy guy. My appointment's at 3. I get there at 3. At 3:05, I'm sitting on a chair. And then I'm gone. And I love that. And I think that's another thing that I would actually love to see as well. Because a lot of times you get to an office, like at least for medical, and you're waiting 45 minutes just for them to see you. And so there's a lot of things in the background that happen that, patients don't know, the patients don't see. There's some things we can't control by not overbooking.
Mm-hmm. So the part that makes you feel more comfortable is like, hey, just don't overbook. And then, you know what I mean? A lot of these other problems can kind of go away, whether it's waiting time, the scents, things like that.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Gotcha. Okay. So then what do you love about dentistry?
So on the business side, for me, what I love is the amount of money it takes to open up to a dentist office. I love saving people money. That's one of the things I enjoy doing every day in my business. And to be able to say that I can help you save $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, I think that's awesome. And with Olsen, we have that opportunity. And so because of that, I would really say I would love to see and continue seeing savings that we've been able to provide. Because when you can save $5,000, $6,000 and invest it somewhere else, that's awesome. That's money you can invest in social media. That's money you can invest in hiring a better office manager. That's money you can invest in going on vacation, enjoying, quality time with your family. And so those are all things that I think are important. So when you can save that on a chair compared to buying a $24,000, $25,000, $40,000 chair, I would definitely say that's something I really love doing on the medical side. And I expect to love doing it on the dental side.
Yeah, that's nice, man. Typically right now, if you don't mind me asking, out of the range of chairs you have, which one would you say is the most popular? Like where the one in Hawaii, right? We just installed all these other places. Where to you, which one would you say is more popular?
So right now, our Logic that starts off at 10,500 is the most popular chair. It's chair that a lot of our dentists have enjoyed. That's the chair that we just installed in Hawaii for of. He loved them. He actually, awesome doctor. He actually has an office in Hawaii and he has an office in Chicago. So he bought two of our Infinities and then he ordered four of our Logics for his Hawaii office. And so I would say that our Logic is really, it's a great chair. It does everything you need, gives you all the upgrades that you want on a chair. Our Sprint chair is really good for hygiene. It's a fantastic hygiene chair. Our Quality is a great chair for a dentist who's starting off, who's really price conscious. Our Logic is an amazing chair for an experienced dentist who wants a workhorse. And our Infinity is for our high-end dentist who just wants to look amazing, who just wants his chair to look fantastic and wants to have all the bells and whistles. And so the Infinity, we've sold a lot of those. They're beautiful chairs and they all go in high-end offices that just will look amazing.
Gotcha. I was going to ask that. I'm looking at your chairs right now, the Logic and the Infinity. Do you normally, let's just say we're creating the infrastructure and the outline of the practice right now in the construction phase. Can you ever like chime in on that and say like, hey, look, I think it'd be best if you had the Infinities for this and that, or you guys don't? You're just like, hey, whatever, it's up to you, doctor.
So fortunately, we've actually been part of lots of new builds and we've also done just replacement chairs. And so when we get to be part of the construction experience, it's a lot better for the doctor's cosmetic look of the office because we get all the plumbing underneath the chair. When you have to add that junction box, you lose about a foot of real estate that can be nice and clean, that could be clear. And that's awesome. I mean, I love installing these chairs where we can put all the plumbing, electricity underneath the chair where it should be. And it just looks amazing. And so when we get to do that, it's enjoyable. And when we get to see the side of the rooms, definitely our Infinity is a little bit bigger than our other chairs. So we can tell the customer, hey, the Infinity, you're not going to get the same experience when you have a smaller room. So for this room, we'd recommend Quality. And so because of that, yeah, we definitely enjoy being part of that process. And it's something awesome that we get to do. You send us the blueprints, we'll send it to our tech. He'll actually put the chair in on your blueprints. He can show you where the arms move, where the delivery system moves. It's a really cool system. You'll be able to see it all and get that experience. On top of that, we have even cooler experience. Let's say you like the Infinity. You can actually put the Infinity in your office. You grab your phone and you can put on an app that we have and literally see through your phone the whole chair inside your office. And you can walk around the whole chair with your phone and see how it would actually look inside the office. That's something that a lot of people enjoyed. It's something I love doing as well.
Yeah, that's nice, man. I like that a lot. So then there's also the other side of this, right? Where there's really expensive ones, then there's really, really non-expensive ones, cheapy ones, right? So what are the hidden costs of cheap dental chairs? So people are like, they only spent this much, man. You can get it here like on Facebook Marketplace or there's another, right? There's hidden costs behind that, I'm sure. But what are they?
So let's say if you buy something on Facebook, you're buying something that you don't know the history of it, right? You're buying something that you don't know who installed it. You also are looking at, does that chair still exist? Can they still buy parts for it, right? A lot of these chairs, after a certain amount of time, the manufacturer stops making the parts for it. That's one, like, let's say, starting off on Facebook. Obviously, you can also buy chairs from, other countries, overseas, and you can, you're going to then sacrifice quality, right? Because what they do is they do mass produce and they sell as much as they can. And so obviously there's certain chairs, certain parts that are not going to be made with the best quality part. For us, one cool thing that Olsen has is we actually build 95% of the chair in Brazil. So in case anybody doesn't know where Brazil is, which I hope everybody does, Brazil's in South America. That's our neighbor. It's a chair that's being built with good quality. When you're looking at Facebook, that might be something you won't want to do because, again, if you don't know who installed it, you don't know who uninstalled it, there might be parts missing. Then you don't have a warranty, right? That's everybody asking questions. Asking now, where's the servicing coming from? Again, if this is a chair that you just bought, and let's say you bought it for $34,000, and then you got to spend another $1,000 or $2,000 on it. That's expensive. A motor, a hydraulic. Let's say if you have hydraulic chairs, a hydraulic motor is expensive. Hydraulic cylinders are expensive, and so that's one of the things again that Olsen does different. Our chairs, none of them are hydraulic. They're all electric driven by Bosch motors. And so that makes it an easier chair to fix. At the end of the day, it's going to last longer because hydraulics, you have hoses there, you have pressure, you have oil, all of those things require maintenance. And so that's one of the things, again, that you're going to see the difference in between an Olsen chair and our competition.
Nice, man. Okay. So then one of the last questions I want to ask you is, throughout this process, actually throughout the time you started Sevi, let's go with that, SeviMed till today, right now, just in general, man, Simon, so the audience can get to know you a little bit more. What's been some of your biggest struggles?
So I think when everybody starts off, and I can tell you over the last 10 years, you have a goal, you have something you want to do, and that goal changes, right? When you get older, things change. When your business gets older, things change. You have different perspectives. I am a father too. I have my son, Samuel, was about a year old, and I have my son Theo, who's 4. I can tell you when they were born, they changed my perspective because all I wanted to do was work before. Now I want to spend time with them. I want to do things different. And so I can also say when you hire people, I can tell you, I've had over probably 150 people work for me. I can tell you, have I learned about hiring people? I think that's actually where I've made some of my biggest mistakes is hiring the wrong people or hiring with my heart. I can tell you that before I'd hire anybody. They're walking on the road, they needed a job. Hey, come here and I'll give you a job. I've learned a lot by that. We've disappointed customers because we haven't hired the right people. And so for right now, I can tell you our culture, our focus, my focus is to have happy customers. I have a saying that I say a lot to all of my customers is, your success is our success. If you're successful, I'm successful. So I have to make sure you're successful so I can make sure that you make another office in a year and you buy 10 shares. Then in 2 years, you do 30. I have customers that started with me 10 years ago that I love and that love me. They have 13, 14 offices. I've done all of them. Working with them is amazing. Seeing them grow inspires me and allows me to continue growing. And so that's kind of one of the things that we do. And one of the things I can tell you over the years I've learned from. One thing is when you start off, you don't want to just hire anybody. You spend more time with your employees than what you spend at home normally. And so because of that, you don't want to have bad employees. And not all bad employees start off as bad employees. So I believe that's one of the things that I've struggled with a lot is not having the right people by me. With time, with different budgets, you're able to find better people. You're able to learn different ways of doing things. And I would say what I've learned just the last year alone, because I can tell you last year was crazy for us. We were doing the dental, we were doing the medical, we grew like crazy. And what I really learned right now, we're doing amazing as well. And we have better people and the people have changed everything. And it's something I can tell you last year I wasn't focused on. And it's something right now I'm focused on that the people who work for me, the people who are my team members, they're killing it just like we are and that they're happy and that they're enjoying what they do. And I think that's really important. And I think when you find people that are not good, I'm a huge fan of Dave Ramsey. And he says something where if you only want thoroughbreds, right? You only want thoroughbreds. You don't want donkeys working for you. And I can tell you I've had lots of donkeys working for me and I've definitely learned from that.
Nice, man. Great advice. Awesome, Simon. Thank you so much for being with us. It's been a pleasure. But before we say goodbye, can you tell our listeners where they can find you?
Definitely. So if you're in Florida, or if you might be in Florida next week, we are going to be from the 29th of June to the 1st of July. We will be in the Florida Dental Association convention. That's going to be in the Gaylord Palms in Orlando. And so we'd be super excited to have you there just to come check out our chairs. We also have a showroom here in Orlando, Florida. We're about 45 minutes from Orlando, but it's easier to say Orlando because nobody knows where Orange City is. But we're about 45 minutes away from the airport. And so you can also check us out on olsenna.com. You can see us there. You can see us on social media. You can see us on YouTube. We love to share stuff. Our team's always making something and we enjoy to push out videos. And so we would love for you to come check us out. We just want you to see our products. When someone comes to the show, I tell them, touch our chairs, feel them, touch our leather, touch our vinyl, go look at other chairs and come back. And I've had the fortune that a lot of them come back. And so I would definitely say you want to touch our chairs, you want to feel them, you want to see what they're made out of and get to enjoy them.
So what's the next event after the Florida one that you guys will be attending?
Thanks for asking that, Michael. So September 21st through September 23rd, we will be in the Ohio Dental Convention. We're super excited. the Ohio Dental Association is going to be creating this event. They are pushing it. They're inviting lots of dentists to come, and we're super excited to be part of it. And so I would love to see you there, September 21st to September 23rd. You'll see more on our website at olsenna.com. And we're super excited to see you. And like I said it before, I want you to come touch our chairs, feel them, see the quality, and then go touch the competition and let us know what you think. All right. Thanks.
Awesome. So guys, that's all going to be in the show notes below. So definitely go check that out and reach out to Simon and his team. And Simon, thank you so much for being with us. It's been a pleasure, and we'll hear from you soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael.